This is everybody's day. This is everybody's day. I had a vision a few years ago, and when I shared this vision, I will go into scriptures. It was of the labors of my spiritual father, the Apostle Aaron. And when I awakened from the vision, I had to call him and ask for permission to do what I saw myself being instructed to do in the vision. I saw two buildings or two walls being built. And he was the builder on one side. There were younger men, and I believe that this depicts the labors of the immediate younger generations. In our spiritual family, all of us are in the same age range. Apostle should be about 44 this year. Yes, and I'll be 40 this year. So all of us are, Apostle Gideon Otoma is between both of us. So all of us are very close, but that's physical. In the spirit, the gaps are wide. So I knew it was not my generation that I saw building. There were a lot more younger men. But I was observing in the company of an angel. I hope everybody who is laboring over people will gain wisdom from what I'm sharing, and it will inform my teaching this evening, because I'll teach a little and then we'll have the privilege to ask questions, and then we trust God for the rest of the night. So he was building, and he had built about a height beyond this window. Surprisingly, these young men who were also building a wall on the other side had also built to his level. So my first challenge was, how come we have a lot of young men building at Apostle Rome's level and I don't know them? Is it that they are secret laborers? And my guide told me, he said, don't look up, look down. I have quite a lot of experience in construction. I had worked for about 24 months in a construction company. And like I used to share with people, my last project was supposed to be the building of a 206 housing unit in Ibadan. So I've done quite a lot like that. But what they were building was something I had never seen in construction before. I saw that they had only 2 courses of blocks at that height. Somehow they had managed to gain instruction as to building in the air. So it was like you just put a block here and it stays, and then you keep building on it. So I looked at Apostle Rome's construction, and I found out that it was from the ground. So I asked my guide, what does this mean? He said, there's a way to build around what is trending, so that you look to those who have been laboring and you pick, because on each of Apostle Rome's blocks was a sermon topic. And when I checked, I found out that many of the things that were at the top of his building had mysterious communications, but the ones that were down had very clear communications. The path of life, the way of holiness, the doctrine of salvation. He must be born again. That's how he built. And then he went into the custodians of change, the baptized, negotiators and translators of the immortal realm. But these guys were also doing the immortal realm without foundation. And the Lord told me that the generation coming after your own will suffer. They will suffer not because the enemy vents his anger against them, but they will suffer trying to live out realities that they have no foundation for. So when I woke up, I called Papa and said, Papa, you know, we shared something like this some time ago. My fatherhood has more rebuke than commendation. I'm like Jesus. So I remember telling you that time, tweak the things you are teaching. Go back to foundational things. Leave the top ones. You may have a lifetime to teach the top ones. But if you don't, any man who successfully starts the journey by foundational teachings will find his way up. If you put my feet on the first rung of the ladder, and that's all that you can do. If my feet is firm on that first one, I'll climb the rest myself. If you show me a staircase and you say, this is the way up, and you have only the privilege to guide me to the first three, I will arrive at the top. Are you with me? So, the commissioning my guide said to me was, help a generation, help them start again. So I went to Apostle and said, Papa, I'm going to begin to reteach some of the topics that you taught, not because I listened to you, but I'm just going to say, okay, you taught that thing, and I'm going to enter it. And I told him, I think I'm going to go back to foundational teachings so that we can help a generation. And it was only one line he said, you have my blessings. So I began to go back to foundational teachings.